One of the most frustrating things on YouTube is posting videos week after week, putting in hours of work and still seeing no results. The views and subscribers barely move, and YouTube never pushes your videos to a bigger audience. Meanwhile, other channels in your niche are pulling hundreds of thousands of views month after month. The truth is, it's not about how hard you work. It's about how the top 1% of creators play the game. And unless you learn the steps they use, you'll always be behind them. In this video, I'll break down exactly how they do it step by step so that you can finally start growing your channel. Starting with step number 1, finding your unfair advantage. In my 7 years of making YouTube videos, I've noticed something interesting. Viewers treat small channels very differently from the big ones. And the reason is simple: social proof. See, when somebody scrolls through YouTube, they're flooded with hundreds of options. To cut through the noise, the first thing they check is views. Because in their mind, more views automatically means better quality. That's just how humans are wired. But as a small channel, you don't have that luxury of big numbers backing you up. So how do you compete? You fight social proof with your unfair advantage. It's your unique strength that no other creator can copy. That advantage could come from your background. Maybe you studied a subject deeply, or you worked in an industry that gives you insider knowledge. It could also be your delivery. Maybe you're naturally funny, sarcastic, or brutally honest. Or maybe it's your style of storytelling. You connect the dots that others miss, or you make people feel emotions most channels never touch. Because in the end, it's not just about what you cover, it's about how you cover it. A topic might have been done 1,000 times before, but not in the way only you can do it. Take this channel for example. On the surface, it's just another science channel. But what makes it stand out is how easily they explain complex ideas with simple language and stunning animation. And there's a reason for that. The founder, Philipp Dettmer, and I hope I'm pronouncing the name right, shared on Reddit that he studied communication design with a focus on infographics. He wanted to make difficult ideas engaging and accessible. That background gave him the skill to break down complex subjects with ease, and that became his unfair advantage. Another example is Magnates Media, a faceless business documentary channel that earns hundreds of thousands of dollars per video. Many creators were already making business documentaries, but most felt dry and boring. But Magnates Media did something different. He combined filmmaking and storytelling with business education. Suddenly, viewers weren't just learning about the business world, they were experiencing it like a movie. And that made him stand out. So ask yourself, what is the one thing I do better than anyone else? Find it, lean into it, and make it your channel's identity. Because if you sound like everybody else, viewers will always choose the creator with more views. But if you bring something they've never seen before, social proof doesn't matter. You've already won their attention. Finding your edge is just the start. The real growth comes in step 2, and it is something that most small creators completely miss. And that is creating a common thread. This is one mistake I see in almost every small channel, and unless you fix it, your channel will never take off. Think of your channel like a Netflix show. On Netflix, every show has its own theme, vibe, storytelling style. The characters may change, the story may evolve, but the core identity always stays the same. That's why Breaking Bad will never feel like The Office, and The Office will never feel like How I Met Your Mother, even though both are in the comedy genre. The point is, every great show has a common thread running through all of its episodes, and your channel needs that same thread across every video. Without it, you might get views here and there, but no one will binge your content or subscribe to it. So what's that thread on YouTube? It's not just your niche, it's the way you deliver content. For example, Far From Weak makes self-help videos, but the common thread is his blunt, no BS mentor-like tone. Internet Anarchist covers YouTuber controversies, but his videos have an investigative documentary flair. Each video feels like part of the same series. That is why when people watch one video, they're more likely to watch 5 more. Now compare this to most small creators. They spend hours scripting, editing, uploading, but when you open their video tab, it is pure chaos. Every video looks and feels completely different. That lack of consistency kills growth. When somebody lands on your channel, they should know instantly, yes, this is the channel for me. Once your channel has that clear identity, the next step is making your videos feel more personal. Now, most small creators lean too heavily on raw information, things like lists or strategies or roadmaps. Useful, yes, but it often falls flat. If you want to multiply clicks and watch time, mix that information with your own experience. On YouTube, the word I is incredibly powerful. It turns a generic video into a personal story that feels unique and more clickable. For example, instead of titling this video, How to Feel Energetic After Work, you can say something like, Things I did to stop feeling drained after work. That small switch makes the story personal and raises the stakes. Now look at this video, 5 side hustles you should start in 2025. It doesn't have that punch, right? What if we say, I tried making $500 a day using these 12 side hustles, or I tried 50 business ideas, these 3 made me rich. Now it's not just information, it is proof. Viewers instantly want to know what happened and how. Here's another example. Instead of saying 5 money habits that will make you rich in 2025, which sounds like any other finance video, you can frame it as, I obsessed over becoming a millionaire. Here is what I learned. Now this feels like a raw story and people love watching such videos. And this isn't just theory. This very video came from a channel with just 16,000 subscribers. She had uploaded over 200 videos, but this one video blew up, proving how powerful this strategy is. This works because every creator brings a unique perspective shaped by their own mistakes, their methods, and their lessons. Of course, you can't frame every topic through your own lens, and that is where the next step comes in. Build on emotion, not on information. To blow up on YouTube, you need to understand basic human psychology. And psychology says that people don't make decisions based on logic. Every choice we make is driven by emotion. And that is why if you want more people to click on your videos, you cannot just serve information. You need to frame your titles and thumbnails around a single powerful emotion like fear or envy or relief, hope, curiosity, whatever it is. That is exactly what we do with our own videos. Take this video as an example. The title says 9 easiest faceless niches that will make you rich in 2025. That one word, easiest, instantly gives beginners relief, especially those who don't have any special skills. The thumbnail doubles down on that promise. It shows me lying on a pillow with the text, no skills needed. Together, they crush the biggest fear beginners have, that they're not qualified to start. It makes them think, okay, even I can do this. Now look at this video. The title says, why 99% of faceless channels fail. That number, 99%, immediately triggers fear. It makes creators wonder, am I part of that group? The thumbnail pushes that fear even further. It shows the text, 99% won't succeed, with a red downward graph and a disappointed face. Together, they trigger your survival instinct. No creator wants to waste months of effort only to end up in the 99%. And that fear is exactly what makes people click. So here is what you can take away from this. 1. Pick one dominant emotion to package your video. Don't try to cover everything. Ask yourself, do I want viewers to feel fear, relief, hope, envy, or curiosity when they see this thumbnail or packaging? Then build your title and your thumbnail around that emotion. And 2, use one clear visual proof. That could be a number, a screenshot, or even a facial expression. Something that reinforces the emotion instantly without words. When you do this, your titles and your thumbnails stop being information. They become emotions viewers cannot ignore. And once they're hooked, the next challenge is keeping them glued till the very end. Which brings us to the next point, breaking patterns to re-hook viewers. Now again, most small creators think that hooking viewers in the first 30 or 60 seconds is enough. And yes, your intro is critical, but that is only half the battle. The truth is, humans have super short attention spans. Even if you start strong, people can drift away every few minutes unless you keep pulling them back in. That is why you cannot rely on a single hook. You need to hook your viewers throughout the video. So how do you keep viewers glued to the screen? One of the easiest ways is to share your points through your own experience. Notice how I'm doing it right now. I'm not just listing strategies, I'm showing you what has worked for us on this very channel. When you speak from experience, viewers see you as an authority. They trust you more, and that trust keeps them watching. Another way is to open curiosity loops. This means you hint at something valuable early on, but you don't reveal it right away. For example, you might say, in a minute, I'll share one habit that nearly destroyed my productivity. And the surprising part, it's not what you probably think it is. But first, that kind of suspense makes viewers stick around because they don't want to miss the answer. Another powerful tactic is pattern interruptions. After a few minutes, people get used to your rhythm and their mind starts to wander. So break the rhythm, drop a surprising stat, make a bold statement, switch the camera angle, flash a quick graphic, or simply shift your tone. Even small changes like this snap people back. When you combine these strategies, your video feels alive. Viewers don't just feel like they're receiving information, they feel like they're on a journey with you. And that is when they stop thinking about the other videos on the side of the screen because they are too invested in finishing yours. The longer you hold that attention, the more YouTube rewards you. But most creators don't see it that way. They blame the algorithm, and that is where the real problem begins. Many creators blame the algorithm when their videos don't get any views. But the algorithm is just a reflection of your viewers. It is not some robot holding your channel back. If people click, watch, and enjoy your content, the algorithm will push it to a bigger audience. Start asking, how do I give people what they actually want to watch? That one shift changes everything. Start by looking at your own videos. Which ones did people click on? Which ones did they watch all the way through? Don't just glance at the numbers, study them. See what topics, titles, and thumbnails pulled viewers in and which ones lost them. Once you spot the patterns, double down on what works, but don't overdo it. Because if you repeat the same thing again and again and again, it can backfire. That is why you also need to use strategy 7, which I'll share later. But the bottom line is simple. Stop blaming the algorithm, start studying your audience and your own videos, and that is how you grow fast on YouTube. And this finally brings us to the final step, which is experiment continuously. One of the fastest ways to kill your growth is to stop experimenting. Every time you test something new, you get data, and that data is the only way to know what your audience truly loves and what they're going to ignore. Even two channels in the same niche can attract completely different audiences. So without testing, you are just guessing. But experimenting does not mean throwing random topics at the wall. You need a system. Here is how it works. If you upload 8 videos in a month, split them in half. 4 should be proven winners, topics that already blew up for you and your competitors. Study what worked, put your own spin on it, and then publish. That's how you create steady, predictable growth. We also made a full video on reverse engineering, so go ahead and check that out later. The other 4 topics, the remaining out of the 8, should be pure experiments. Test bold topics, new formats, or fresh styles, but only change one variable at a time so that you know what caused the change. For example, if you usually post short explainers, try one long-form documentary style video. If everyone in your niche is repeating the same thing, take the opposite angle with stronger arguments. And if your thumbnails are simple, try a bold, curiosity-driven design with one striking element. Every experiment gives you fresh data, and once you see the patterns in that data, you will know exactly what to double down on. That is how you stop guessing and how you start scaling faster than anyone else in your niche. If you follow these 7 steps, your channel will definitely blow up before 2025 ends. But none of this will work if you are building your channel in the wrong niche. On YouTube, your niche is your foundation. And if that foundation is shaky, no strategy is going to save you. Which is why I recommend that you go ahead and watch this video next, where I show you 8 secret faceless niches that will make you rich in 2025. So go ahead, check them out, and I'm going to see you guys there. Bye.